between fear and hope. Between fear and hope. Between fear and hope. Between fear and hope. Between fear and hope.
There we go. Mic check, check, check. All right. So this is Between Fear and Hope. I'm your host trying to elevate. I know it's been a minute that take a little hiatus, but I'm gonna try to start being more consistent. I promise. I know I say that every time, but you know it is what it is. Life be life. So I feel like I felt compelled to come on tonight because everybody knows what's going on with Anton and Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb, right? Now, I made a video I posted on here a long time ago about Anton Daniels, right? And that's my bad. I didn't I prepared. Oh snap. Undo that. How do you undo that? I prepared slightly because I will say that I should have pulled up that clip that I did of him in the past, but as I was looking for that clip, I think it was so long ago that it wasn't in my immediate timeline. So it might have got archived at some point. I don't really remember where it is, which platforms is on. But I'm gonna pull up the video that I replied to, that I responded to. Not responded to. What word am I looking for? That I criticized. Right. He got so much stuff that I might not even be able to find it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm gonna try to pull it up as soon as possible. All right, this is fair. Why can't I mute this thing? There we go. Good. No, this is not it. He basically was going on a rant, and he was basically like, "You're not a black queen. You a black slave, right?" And I that was like my first time actually looking at his page, and so not my first time. I was like, surfing his page or whatever, and actually I don't even. I don't know where I got. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of this. But as y'all can see, I'm struggling. Video capture. Why are these the same? Why are these the same? I don't understand. Okay, I see what it's doing. My bad, y'all. My bad. I am lacking in my macking, slipping in my pimping. But there we go. I'm gonna just do it like that, right? Now, I gotta cut to it, right? Now, I am working on my setup. I got, a couple shots here now. Yeah, they check me out. But the point that I'm trying to make, I'm kind of tripping over my words because I'm doing a lot. I'm not used to I'm not used to talking. For some reason, I'm not used to. Now I ain't saying I'm used to talking. Of course, I'm used to talking. You know what I mean? I'm a scientist. I give a lot of presentations. Um, I wouldn't say I'm the most successful scientist, but I am a nevertheless pretty published, decorated scientist. So I give a lot of talks, and yeah, my bad, y'all. And I think it's the multitasking of it. Like a lot of times we look at these YouTubers and we be thinking like that's easy, I could do that. And now I'm starting to see it ain't that easy because it's a lot of multitasking and you know what I mean, having these screens open and you know what I'm saying. It's easy to just put your business out there because you don't put something on the screen you ain't mean to put on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get back to my live so I can see what it looking like so I could know, you know what I'm saying, like how my screen is. I thought I put it full screen, but it ain't there we go. Full screen, there we go. All right, so there we go. Okay. I was confusing myself. All right, so I'm just gonna get right into it, man. If you haven't seen this Corey Holcomb joint by now, then you've been kind of living under a rock. I'm gonna try to skip to the point that I really want to talk about, not because it's not gonna be the whole thing, and I'm gonna put it on a little bit faster, probably like one and a half speed. Um, where is the speed? At least one and a half. And we're gonna go from there.
How do you
Let me let
feel?
y'all
Because
see
we
what
ain't
he's
gonna do all
talking about.
politics. That ain't what the show
We
about.
got to get there, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't want you to miss no point.
All right, I'm with it.
What do you feel about this nation as they jack other nations for their resources and play it off like it's other reasons?
I
I'm
think
talking
that's
about
part
this
of the
nation,
game.
the U.S.
That's the part of the game.
When you say part of the game, I don't understand. You think,
Everybody didn't been conquered. Slavery didn't exist way before we ever came here.
Mhm.
So I don't see what the problem is.
See,
well,
and he
I
just
tell you
say a
like
lot
this.
of this stuff because
I
he
cannot
be polarizing.
respect men who are claim jackers. Like I don't
Like what? Give me an example.
like the United States.
No, give me an example, like a real life thing. Like, what did they take?
The United States.
Like taking this country?
Not just taking this country. How do you think you got here?
Yeah, the transatlantic slave trade.
You're a smart man.
Right. That's what I know all about it.
So it's very hard to be respectful of what is here when me, for example, as an African American male, I know how I got here. I didn't take the cheap flight on Frontier here. My people were kidnapped. My people were robbed. They what?
They were sold by Africans.
You say all the people were sold by Africans?
How you think what you think? White people came over there and got us?
Yes.
No, they were sold.
So
They just capitalized off of it better than the Africans did.
Okay, so you're saying that all of
That's
the
not true
people
either.
that were
Let me stop it
Let me
right.
stop it right quick, right?
Because a lot of people try to run with that narrative that that's Africans sold other Africans into slavery. When we talk about slavery, right, it's disingenuous to insinuate that all slavery is equal, right? And before I became a Muslim, that was one of the hardest things for me in accepting Islam. I'm like, no, because the Arabs was like, they was the OG slave traders, you know what I'm saying? And when he make this statement that, oh, everybody had slaves, slavery was on every continent. Slavery was on every continent to a certain extent. It wasn't like chattel slavery. So let's not compare chattel slavery to indentured servitude or the slave stature that you would receive if you were conquered. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a thing of lineage, and it wasn't specific to race or ethnicity or your tribe. You know what I'm saying? If you were enslaved during those times, it was likely because you were conquered. But for the most part, you could buy yourself out of slavery and you could serve a certain term and then you will be integrated into the community. When you look at a lot of the the Nigerians, they come from two main tribes and a lot of them kind of integrated. And this is a type of integration that you see all throughout the continent. And there was usually some war, you know what I'm saying, that happened beforehand. And I'm not justifying slavery at all. But when you say that this was the natural way of the world, don't be disingenuous and try to leave out the fact that the most brutal form of slavery was what we had here in the Americas.
The white people, they were just doing transactions over there.
Absolutely. It was capitalism. See, the thing about white people,
It was capitalism.
you think that racism is inherently in them. Racism is inherently in all of us. black people is some of the most racist people I've ever seen in my entire life.
And see that one of the co-hosts is going to make a good differentiation when she say that racism is institutional, is systematic, and is structural. If you don't have power, you can't really be racist. You can be prejudiced. But I'm gonna let her make that point.
We don't even like each other.
So can I ask you a question?
No, let's stay there.
Okay.
We don't even like each other. And so black people participate. Some of the first slavers in the United States of America was black people. That's the truth. So what I'm trying to understand is,
was slavery in the United States before?
Slavery existed thousands of years before we got here. Okay. Slavery was on every single continent in this world. That's a fact. Now, the thing that's a problem with it is that, and this is the problem that I have. What you niggas want?
What do you mean when you say what you want?
What y'all want? Like, because y'all complaining about it over and over again, and I'm trying to understand what is it that y'all looking for. What?
It's funny that he say y'all niggas as if he not grouped into that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all listen. Give me a second.
What is gonna help y'all?
The whole thing that has happened.
Because I'm solutions oriented, and I'm tired of niggas that ain't never been through shit complaining about shit that they ain't never been through.
If you black in the United States, you've been through some shit.
But I'm tired of niggas complaining about shit that they have never been through. Like, you've been through some shit, but you ain't been through that.
I don't understand. What are you saying? Like,
because most of the niggas that's complaining about it ain't never even really seen real racism. These is new niggas. All of these internet niggas right here, these is new niggas.
So are you saying black people in the United States, some of them have skipped over racism?
Yeah, definitively.
Come on, man.
Definitively. You have a greater chance of being killed by somebody that look like you than to ever interact with somebody that don't look like you and kill you.
But do you understand that it's made like that on purpose?
It's the system. The system against us. I got it.
Okay, but the position you and your people are in.
Who's my people?
Black people. Do you claim black people?
I'm a Christian first. I claim.
Well, I think something's wrong with that. If you don't want to say you're a black man first, I think something's wrong with
black
that.
Black is a construct. They told you that you was black.
Okay, well, brown.
No. We're not brown. We're not black. We're not none of that shit.
Oh, what are we?
We're not. For me, I'm a believer in God. That's what I am. My foundation is always going to be Christianity, Christ, Jesus first. I don't claim none of that other shit. You're not going to get me to believe in you based off of some shit that you can't control. You didn't pick it. And the thing about other cultures, whether you're black, Chinese, Asians don't fuck with each other.
I'm jumping in and out, right? Because I forgot I had put that on the stove. But you see how he dodged that? No, I'm Christian first, right? And Muslims do the same thing. I'm Muslim first, and it's true. But sometimes people use truths to negate what the other person is saying. When you clearly understand what the other person is saying, it's okay to be Christian first, but you have to acknowledge the fact that Christianity was used as a tool to enslave us. They have something called a slave Bible. The slave Bible was a Bible that's had so many chapters and verses removed so that it would keep the enslaved people docile and from revolting. And remember that we weren't even allowed to read. And it wasn't until later that we were able to allow to be taught reading by certain people, and that was only of the Bible. So let's be clear that the Bible was the Greek Bible. I don't even think that's the original Bible, because we never talk about the Ethiopian Bible, and I'm sure he don't read the Ethiopian Bible. But the Greek paganized Hellenized version of the Bible is what we have, and this is why we associate that with the West, is because even the Bible is colonized. But that's a topic for another day. I'm gonna let y'all continue.
Because they're Asian, Chinese people and Japanese people and Taiwanese people, they're all different. Koreans are different. All white people don't fuck with all white people. Why do I have an obligation to fuck with somebody just because he's black? Okay. And then the definition of how you define black is based off of something that a white man gave to you.
Okay. Well, trust me, brother. You white people, let me tell you something. I know Caucasian people that have looked at me and threw me licks. Mm-hmm. I am from Chicago.
And I'm from Detroit.
Chicago is very segregated. I knew nothing about Caucasian people until I moved to Los Angeles. And a lot of the stories I heard, it turned out to be just that. But back to this Christianity, you have to understand this. You were taught that by the people who kidnapped you. Is that a lie?
Nope.
Okay, so
we were taught everything that you know on this earth was taught to you. The racism that you have in your heart, it was taught to you.
You think I'm racist?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I studied you.
Wow.
This is why
I'm racist. I don't know a lot of racism in me. But maybe you can show me something. I don't know.
We're going to get there.
We'll get there. To start the show off in your own,
No, when Brother Anton Daniels was talking to me on the phone, I knew that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I believe we can have a conversation like men. That's like a lot of stuff he said right now I disagree with so much. But
both of them.
I'm going to try to make a point because I have the hope. I have the hopes in reaching him in a way. You know what I'm saying? I know that ain't guaranteed. I'm not.
And I have the hope that I'm gonna get y'all off of the Democratic plantation.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing about the Democratic plantation.
Everything that you speak of, it's a reflection of the same thing that they speak of. So you may not claim it, but you're a reflection of it.
Well, if I reflect something that is this Democratic plantation, I tell you what, I really don't study a Democratic plantation. I try to study being a stand-up human being where when I look in the mirror, I don't see a slick motherfucker. Right. That's who I am.
I'm with it.
I don't like slick motherfuckers.
That's the first thing we agreed on.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad we got there. But I get labeled all the time. I was talking to a young lady on the phone the other day, and she said, I know you hate what's the lady who calls herself a doctor? I'm blanking right now.
Oh my God.
Dr. Bryant. And I'm like, I don't hate nobody. Where do you get hate from? And then I was on the internet. Every once in a while, I look at the pages that use my likeness and image and everything. And I listen to some of the stuff they said, and I was called bitter, and I don't know how to get money. But anyway, coincidentally, today I'm talking to a brother who knows how to work the internet well and get money.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Facts. So it's like, everything comes in its season for a man like me. I don't say I got all the answers to everything, but I am willing to talk logically to people who I feel like are able to communicate. That's what I'm saying. Because like the stuff you're saying, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the
100%. And I mean, that's your personality too. Like,
and it would be boring to hear just one person's take or views on things. It just makes it interesting.
Excuse me, ma'am. You need a mic, ma'am. You can ask on the mic. Goddamn.
Anton, just a clarifying question. What about, are you comparing racism with prejudice? Is it? Do you think black people can truly be racist?
He knows the difference, and he knows exactly what she's saying.
Like straight up hate white people. And it's very unfortunate because they're not even the ones that's winning over here. We compare ourselves against a group of people that the majority of them is on food stamps and welfare. They would be a disappointment to their ancestors. I
can respect that right there. That was a true bar, right? Like, why compare yourself to somebody that's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like at the top of the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see homeless white people, I be looking like, damn, you couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like how you end up in this situation when you kind of got everything, every door is already open for you. You know what I'm saying? But, I kind of reel myself in and bring myself back to, a reality that the reality is that we all susceptible to it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is exempt from being homeless. Nobody is exempt from being, seeing hardship. So even when we look at the systemic issues in America, the institutionalized forms of racism, it's only but so much that they can do. And because we're so resilient, you know what I'm saying? So I see what he's saying in that. And I could give him props for even saying that. But I do think he was dodging the whole say something about white men thing. You know what I mean?
That's the argument, right? The argument is
we can't make sure white people don't get access to certain schools and programs and things like that.
The main way that they
be empowered to be racist, to be quite honest.
See, that's what I was going to say. That's the argument that black people make, is that you can't be racist if you can't actually have an impact on another group of people. So it's supposedly systemic. It's false. Really? I just seen a guy that used to be the president of the United States of America that wanted to become the president of the United States of America for the second time almost get everything taken away from him, literally. And he was basically being taken down.
He talking about Trump
by black people. Kamala Harris, Letitia James.
That's the same thing I did, man. I laughed.
In New York,
I cracked up laughing when he said that because he's talking about Trump, the person. Trump made so much money in this term. He made, I think, 50 times. If you combine every president we ever had, their whole term, and how much they made throughout however long they've been president, Trump made, I think, 50 times more than that his first year. Made like, I think, over 300 million just that last year alone. And it wasn't even a full year that he was president.
Bonnie Willis down in Georgia, all of those are black women, specifically that met with Kamala Harris months before they actually started this campaign during the Biden administration. And it's so funny to me because then I have to ask myself the question, well, listen, if this is a construct and if it's all about white people and all of the energy is going towards a person that black people fucked with before he actually ran for president of the United States of America, but we champion Barack Obama.
Not me.
No. Take yourself out of it. We're talking about the culture. It may not necessarily be you individually, but we as a culture fuck with him. Fuck with who? Barack Obama and his wife. We fuck with him. As a culture, we champion him. We absolutely do. And he didn't give y'all shit except for gay marriage.
I know that. That's why
True.
I ain't arguing with you on this point.
Absolutely I vote.
Are you independent?
I'm a Republican.
You didn't know that?
I'm a straight up and down Republican. And matter of fact, People need to really understand their history because Republicans.
Now, I agree. Black people are traditionally very, very conservative. Like traditionally, when you look at our culture, we're the most conservative people in this country. But I think that word has been hijacked to mean a lot of different things. It means like white Christian now. Whereas though, and traditionally it just meant that we stood for all of the values that were important to raising a family. You know what I'm saying? Marriage, of course, heterosexual marriage because of procreation and bringing children into the world. The church, community, do for self type thing. You know what I'm saying? Building up our communities and infrastructure so that we can be able to thrive as a community.
Republicans were the party of black people. It's the original party of black people. They were the party that actually freed the slaves. Lincoln was a straight up Republican. When you're talking about emancipation, when you're talking about 1865,
and this is true. FDR. If you look up FDR, the original FDR, not Franklin D. Roosevelt, but the Frederick Douglass Republicans, you'll see that we come from. It's actually a book called The Black Conservatives, and it talks about how we were originally the conservative Republican Party, because America is a republic. You know, they call it a Democrat, but it's like I think they call it the Democratic Republic now or something weird, but it's really a republic. So black people are very much a part of the conservative Republican movement originally, I would say, but that got hijacked after the Civil War.
When you're talking about what we stood for, conservative means that we're Christians. It means that we don't fuck with that gay shit. It means, I'm telling you what it
you don't fuck with backdoor shit.
I don't
either.
That's what it says. What it means to be a Republican is this, because a lot of people like to say,
but this is backdoor Republican.
We were taught by our parents. We were taught by our parents that we vote Democrat no matter what.
Vote blue no matter who.
Regardless of what they stand for, regardless of the agendas that they push, regardless of how much nonsense that we see in our communities, regardless of how many Democrats actually destroyed our cities from Chicago to Detroit all across the board. We were taught to vote that no matter what. You vote Democrat no matter what.
I agree.
But this is the difference between the parties on a very fundamental level, not complicated at all.
Really? You going to say it's the difference between the parties?
This is the difference.
I can't wait to hear this.
No. You may say that it's the same type of public politicians that take advantage of the taxpayers and take advantage of the people. The difference in the parties historically is Republicans want less government so you can do what the fuck you want to do. And Democrats want more control, so they want to control what your money is, where your tax dollars go, and what you can do with your money.
Okay, so
that's a fundamental difference.
I'm going to tell you this. And you don't have to believe it, but I'm just telling you.
I'm listening.
The people in charge are not Democrats or Republicans. Kamala Harris is allowed to do whatever she's done.
We get that.
This new president, he's allowed to do whatever he is willing.
I'm boring, y'all. Let me speed this up.
To do, or they allow him. Then
we do. So we got a less than 20% voter turnout rate in the local. We have a less than 20% voter vote are ignorant as fuck.
Well, I guess I'm ignorant because I would never participate in no
people that don't vote.
I'm gonna show up and vote like a sucker.
And not only is it ignorant,
we had Republican presidents, we had Democratic presidents. We in the same joint.
I'm talking about local. You talking about national.
I don't give a fuck if it's local.
It matters.
If you vote,
that's not till November.
No, if you vote first, the first thing that it means is that you respect your ancestors that died for your right to be able to do it.
See, now he was. Now he we. Now he a part of the we, right? Before he was saying y'all, he was taking himself out of it. What you niggas want, right? Now he's saying we. Like, choose a side, bro.
It's so funny to
didn't do it like this. Because people went to war when the government tried to overthrow the people and the power of the people. It was wars. There hasn't been a war inside the U.S. where the people who getting fucked over are doing something about motherfuckers with 30 felonies being the president. It's all sucker shit.
It's a war every day. Exactly. It's just not physical anymore.
Well, that's the problem. We need physical war.
It's not.
Until motherfuckers ready to jump it off,
it's not.
We're going to always be talking. But see, real gladiators don't talk. Real gladiators make it happen. And the gladiators, I ain't gonna lie, we are under control right now. We haven't rose up and did what needs to be done.
Who are you under control by?
It ain't you under control by the people who will motherfucking blow this motherfucker up. We ain't stupid.
Who is he? Because I want to know.
Why do you think that ICE agent was able to shoot that woman?
I want to know who hold on, let's be real. Fuck that woman.
Well, that's what you would say to somebody you don't know what.
That's wild, right? That's wild. You went from respect the ancestors because they died so that you can XYZ, right? But then you're saying F that woman as if we're not in a political climate where we're finally coming together to fight against a common cause, right? It's like It's like during the, during slavery, that's like saying F the Quakers, right? Just because they were white Christian men, you're going to say F the Quakers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's either you for the advancement of black people or you for the advancement of yourself and your agenda. And that's what it sounded like, because when it comes to what you think is a handout and reparations, you're like, what you niggas want? What y'all niggas want? But now, when it comes to respect your ancestors, I vote because my ancestors died for this. We a team, let's stick together. Now, F that woman. As if, you know what I'm saying, the Black Panthers didn't have something called the Rainbow Coalition, where they was trying to bring people on to to understand the plight of black people and to fight for that. Now, granted, this wasn't a direct fight for black people. This is part of the immigrant crisis, but you got to crawl before you walk. It's white people on the front lines right now. And if I'm gonna say F, it's funny how you won't call out white men, but you'll say F that woman just because she was a homosexual, right? When she was on the front lines trying to protect her neighbors who are brown. Now, I don't want to get into the whole conversation of brown versus, they hijacked the movement. I can agree with y'all with a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of that. But right now, it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying? We are in a position where people are actually stepping up to the plate and trying to push back for something that's outside of themselves, using their white privilege as a tool to fight against oppression. But F that, right?
Or whatever.
No.
I'm on the street. I've been pulled over by the police.
Who ain't on the street?
Or ICE agents or whatever.
You in LA.
And mind you, keep saying he in Detroit.
I'm in the blackest city in the United States of America. I can move anywhere I want to go. I choose to stay in the core of my city, and I choose to participate in my neighborhood.
That's we.
I choose to pass to the street.
Black power now. Now he black power again.
Interact and truly use my tax dollars and whatever it is and give jobs. I employ over 50 people. I put my money in my community with my people. Mm-hmm. So I choose to engage. So when we talking about being in the streets, that don't count to me. I don't
well,
hear
that's
that
what
shit.
should count.
I don't hear that
because
shit.
Out there in the streets where the people live that you helping, they could get pulled over and shot by a cop, and
nothing they can do
an
about
investigation will be said. But here's the truth: we know, I believe you know this already. When the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it.
God, this is so crazy.
Do you think that's wrong what I said?
This is so crazy because now he about to try to say that if you ain't doing nothing, you cool.
But you didn't answer it.
I'm gonna answer your question. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question. It depends on the circumstance. And the interesting thing about it is this: the majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people are stupid. Well, have you said all white people stupid?
Now look, this is the whole point. I know he understand, but he trying to act like it's going over his head, right? Why do we always gotta use us in these type of comments? And this is what Corey is saying, right? When you talk about this demeaning attitude, why you gotta go and say, oh, that's like me saying, oh, all black people love watermelon, right? Yeah, that comes to mind, but that's because your mind been programmed to never say anything about massa, right? Because it would be equally as dumb to say all white people smell like bologna, right? Just because some of them do. The fact of the matter is that you only consider negativity when it comes to your people. You only consider these negative tropes when it comes to your people. But I'm going to let Corey handle that one.
You should say that one time because it's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not.
I don't think you got. Well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me?
I talk about liberal.
I never heard it either.
The biggest enemy of the United States of America.
That's what everybody say though. You taking credit for something that everybody say, but you got all of these unique points that you say about black people that nobody say, but you don't have no unique points. Like my beef with him is like I told y'all. He had a video saying how black women not queens. They wrote dirty roaches and they slaves. You was a slave. You ain't no queen. You a slave.
White liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating and joining in on the court.
I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think you don't want to go against them because if you go against them, it'll be some video and you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that. But here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
Now he said we. He ain't saying you. He's saying we.
Or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall of it?
I'm a equal accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
I'm just saying. I ain't heard you talk about white men.
Well, you ain't been
up here.
You ain't been listening. You ain't been listening.
I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't.
I hear you.
You don't have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
No. You got me wrong.
You're too busy.
My capacity that you just criticized, that's an opinion. Here's the fact.
Now a lot of people took fault for him saying that you don't have the capacity, but I understood what he was saying. He's not saying that Corey's slow in this instance. You know, right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm not going to put nothing on his plate that he didn't, you know what I mean, that he didn't ask for, right? He's saying that you don't have the capacity because you're too busy. And I would agree with that, right? Because Corey is a busy dude. He's doing shows. He got the podcast. He got all this other stuff. And Anton put out so much content that there's no way that Corey could possibly be in tune with his platform to a level where he could say that he can't say this one thing, that he never said this one thing. Now, I still agree with Corey that he never criticized white men, but like he said, we too busy to watch all of his content to be like, oh yeah, you never said this one thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I gotta unfortunately say that he wasn't being facetious when he said that.
Fact. Have you said something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's slow down because you
let's slow down. Look.
No,
you don't want to answer that.
And you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around.
Exactly. I'm not getting into that.
For you when you start dancing.
You won't get into that. You can get into it.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now.
Now,
you
now that's now look. See that face right there? See that face right there? It was at this moment he knew that he upped up. That's the face right there. Where Corey was like, and this is my point, right? This is my point. Most black men in America know that you cannot, if there's anything you can't say about black man, is that he SD. It was at this moment that he knew that he effed up. That's the ultimate disrespect right there. You can say I kiss ass all day, right? I'ma still be offended, but you can't. I don't see how you from Detroit, and this is part of the points that Corey was making, because you so adamant to say I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. Right now, everybody saying, "Oh, Corey talking about this jail stuff," and Corey never been in jail. That's not the point. We understand when you look at especially if you were politically aware, when you look at the mass incarceration and you look at the prisoner pipeline, majority of us, I think is 1 out of 5 males see prison or something like that. So or two out of, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's a huge percentage of black men that end up in prison. And it's very rare that I would say even almost probably unheard of, that you live in a majority black city, the largest black population, and not know anybody. Maybe you don't hang with them, but you don't know anybody that been to prison. And this is where I'm like, Anton full of shit. But I'm gonna remember this face right here. Because this is when everything went left.
You do? Let me tell you what you do.
No, let me tell you something, homie. I don't suck dick.
Yeah, you do. So you're doing it right now.
I don't suck dick.
You're doing it right now.
Believe me when I tell you. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Homie, I don't do no dick sucking shit. I'm a motherfucking man. I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Well, I tell you what. Watch that dick sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no dick sucking, homie.
You say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either.
Okay, but that gay shit.
I don't give a fuck about you.
Hey, homie, I tell you what. Don't put no dick sucking shit. Don't put no dick sucking shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit right now.
Suck a dick again.
I'm right here, right now.
I'm gonna respect you. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I come out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not up on me.
We good. I did already. I don't need dick sucking shit.
Microphone right down right now and go on my back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth.
I don't do
You're doing this shit for the internet. You're doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want to say
show you I ain't doing it for the internet.
If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. I'll respect you, but don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I'll let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out on my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regards to how I call this nigga out his name. Nigga, I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get respect.
I got a question for bro.
Okay.
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We just getting loud. I ain't getting loud.
Then don't switch seats.
No. This is my show. This is my show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me dick sucking. I don't dick suck, my nigga.
Man, fuck what you talking about.
I don't dick suck.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do
Telling
shit.
me with that dick sucking
You're
shit
not gonna
again,
do
nigga.
shit. You're not gonna do shit.
Say I suck dick again, nigga.
We can go all back right now. We can go all back right now. I bet you won't say that. We can go all back right now.
I got money for all this. Well,
I got money too. Nobody give a fuck about this shit.
No, it's just not respect. I ain't falling for it. Gully, get out the way. Don't get in the way of two niggas. Let me tell you something, homie. I ain't got to go out back right now because we got to go out back to lead this motherfucker. But I'm saying that dick sucking shit, watch that. That's all I'm saying. And if I don't say it how you like it,
if you want to get back to the conversation, we can get back to the conversation.
But just know,
I'm not listening to none of that shit, bro. I'm not listening to none of that shit. If you want to get back to the conversation, we can get back to the conversation. You're not that tough.
Now, of course, we all know that we know that the altercation went further, and you know what I mean. They didn't, and end up fighting or anything like that. But that's kind of the part that I wanted to end at. Now, ultimately, I'm gonna just give y'all, if you gonna plan on watching it, then you know what I mean. You probably don't want to hear this part, but ultimately, Corey ended up, kind of trying to smooth things over. But what I think Corey should have did a little bit more research on Anton, because Anton is very polarizing. He used a lot of polarizing talking points, energy, statements, and stuff like that. And I think that from the outside looking in, he used that to, basically get, because we all know that it's certain things that you don't say to a man, right? And that's S&D. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell another man that, because those are fighting words and people get hurt for less. You know what I'm saying? And Anton is trying to play the dumb role, I think. I think he's trying to play the dumb role, because one of the things, like, if you can't keep saying I'm from Detroit and then also separate yourself from the hood as if, I don't mess with that hood stuff. I don't care about that hood stuff, right? Because what's the point of saying you from Detroit? You know what I'm saying? Why I keep saying I'm from Detroit if you not trying to say that I'm from the hood, nigga. I'm about that life too. We can do whatever. Now, I wouldn't say that Anton was bitching up, but at the same time, I wouldn't say he was about that life either, because you don't let nobody walk up on you like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you really about that life, you don't let people walk up on you like that. That's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He put himself in a situation where it could have went bad. It could have went south. It could have went, you know what I'm saying? Like, you letting somebody get the drop on you. Now, I'm glad that they didn't fight. I'm glad that, nobody was hurt. And it's sad that, we had two successful black brothers come together and try to hash out some of the issues that we find in the black community in regards to, a lot of times we just follow the crowd. You know what I'm saying? This whole vote blue no matter who. You know what I'm saying? He does have a different perspective as a Republican. I don't think that we should necessarily support any particular bipartisanship, but to each his own, right? He has a certain amount of wealth, and usually people vote based off of their best interest. And when you're wealthy, of course, it's in your best interest to vote towards the Republicans, who are very pro private industry. Now, both sides do a lot of the same things. It's just that they go about it in different ways. Now, I would love to see them come together and do a part 2, because a lot of the stuff that was said afterwards I didn't catch up on, right? But it would seem to me that afterwards Corey kind of went on with the show, right? Some other people kind of got involved, like Craig Fax. He came on the show. He got involved because one of the things I would respect about Anton is when Corey asked him to give examples, he said, I don't want to drag nobody else into it. Now, ultimately, he ended up dragging, Dave Chappelle into it, but that was only because Corey kind of was adamant about him bringing somebody into it, right? Now, the example that he used, you know what I'm saying, Corey conceded to. He said, yeah, I cut him some slack. But the way that Anton was using it in a sense that you tiptoe around certain people was like more so on some you scared of them type time. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't ruffle feathers because you need these people. I wouldn't say that Corey necessarily needs Dave Chappelle, right? Now, it doesn't make sense for Corey to shade Dave Chappelle in a way that could affect his career. But at the same time, Anton kind of made it seem like he was scared of certain people and that he wouldn't say certain things around certain people because they were scared. And that's why he brought, I guess, the boy Craig into it. And he said something about, other people that they kind of come around and they don't ruffle feathers because they need Corey. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, which was a little catty. And even this whole video, the whole situation is just a little catty, right? The point that I really wanted to point on, to talk about, right? Corey made a statement that it's important for young black men to understand that it's a difference between what you say online and what you say in person, right? In the black community, if I could think of any one thing you can't say to another man in person is that he SD, right? Now, there are some other things. You can't talk about a man mom in front of his face and all these other things, especially if you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? That your mother stuff will get you hurt. But people say that online and you like, that niggas don't know me. I'm never going to see him. It is what it is, right? Now, I feel like Anton tried to dance around it like he didn't understand the rules of engagement. And a lot of people online is trying to make it seem like it's a black thing. Oh, yeah, there's always just black people, this hood stuff, this whole you can't say something like he emotional, he this, making all these excuses. But even Jordan Peterson made the comment, which I'm going to try to pull up. He made the comment that when it comes to men, there's always the threat of violence, right? And what that means is that what's going on? Sorry, y'all. There we go. Panna. There's always a threat of violence. All right, yeah, why my audio sound better now? See, yeah, something going on with my audio on these settings. And what that means is that a lot of times when we talk to women have an advantage when it comes to physical altercations in general, verbal altercations, because from a societal standpoint, they know that most men are not likely to take it beyond the verbal, right? But whenever two men get into an argument, which is rare, men don't really argue because it could get physical so easily. Jordan Peterson talked about the psychological side of how women fight and versus how men fight, right? Now, Jordan Peterson is not the best example of in this case because we all know which side he on, but he is a psychologist. In the future, when I get back into the swing of things, I'm gonna try to have this pulled up. All right, so we might have
and you want to chastise.
There's a big difference between letting people do something for themselves and saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it, but that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing.
Oh, here we go. I think
one
it's
of
this
the
one.
things that you.
I think it's this one right here, right? And let me pull them up. I'm gonna put them on the screen. Fair use. Hold on, what's going on with the volume?
That's always there, and you think, well, that's a terrible.
Go back. Here we go.
There's a big difference between letting people do something for themselves.
I got this lag,
and
so my bad.
Saying men should be dangerous.
One of the things that you do see in interactions between men is that
there is an underlying threat of physical violence that's always there. And you think, well, that's a terrible thing, those demonic males, that's Wrangham's book, right? But by the same token, you can signal a tiny increase in the potential for that violence in a variety of ways, by frowning, by changing your voice tone. So you just have to hint at it if it's a civilized discussion, and it keeps it within bounds. And that's one of the things that I don't see so characteristic of linguistic interactions between women, for example. One of the things that you do see in interactions between men is
right. So so when I make that point, because a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, but yeah, a lot of times, as well as during this particular altercation, a lot of people trying to make it seem like, I think I heard Pearl saying something as well, and which is ironic, because when black people were fueling and growing her platform, it wasn't no issue, but now all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. She's like very, and that's the thing about white people, man. White people could just become famous and their pages blow up because white people will support them for doing the same thing Anton is doing, which is just addressing topics that are very taboo and saying things that other people are not willing to say, right? She is now, I guess, very alt-right, and she had some comments on this. I shouldn't even brought her up because she's so irrelevant. But yeah, she don't talk about women anymore, even though her content was always strongly biased towards black women, and that's why she needed black people to always frequent her platform. But black men fell for that trap because we are the ones who kind of repost, gave her a lot of that attention, all of those eyes, reposts and stuff like that, because she don't talk about issues for white people. So white people didn't really care too much about her. And it wasn't until she started doing the 20v1s, not 20v1s. What's the name of that platform? Where they do like the social debates in a circle. I forget the name of it, but it's a very liberal program, and they do sometimes they do man versus woman, or feminist. 20 feminists versus 5 feminists versus 5 conservatives and stuff like that. But yeah, she ended up doing that show, and then she gained a little bit of popularity in the white space. Now, kind of went off on a tangent, but the point that I'm trying to make with this Jordan Peterson thing is that it's not a black thing. This is a social construct thing. This is a social, this is a psychological predisposition that most males in every society has, and not even just in the human species. It's also in the male species, right? You're not going to see a male lion lash out like a female lion just for coming on his territory, right? You'll see the females attack another female lion. Like if a female lion is trying to leave her pride because she just had cubs from another male, and they probably get taken over by an alpha male, you'll see that you'll see that female lions, sometimes they'll try to find a new pride, because that incoming male lion her cubs will be a threat to that incoming male lion, and he might unalive those cubs, right? So she might try to skate, or big cats in general might try to skate to go to another pride. Now that male will be accepting of that female. But if a young male feel like he won't try to go to another pride because there's a new alpha in there and he is in danger of that new alpha, that male is going to be on his top. It's not going to be ain't no talking involved. You see what I'm saying? So this is not just a human thing. This is a male thing of dominance. It just is what it is. And we don't live in a society where it's one dominant male. You know what I mean? Most males have to strive to be dominant. Some are going to be more dominant than others, but we all have to strive towards dominance in order to secure a mate, to procreate and increase our lineage. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you have a lot of sexless men, is because they haven't been able to increase their worth, whether that's by dominance or money. And this is why we also have such a fragile society, is because a lot of less dominant men, less productive men have been able to get money. And money is just a concept, right? Money is just a tool. Anybody can have a tool. But now that we got so many weak men with money, is destroying the fabric of the country, of not even say the country, of the world, because these weak men with money can now have power, which is something that was unheard of in olden times, right? Everything was based on, not just your wits, but your physicality and your social aspects. How many people can you get to join with you in this endeavor? How much can you produce, whether that's chopping down trees or planting seeds and growing or slaughtering animals, or you had to have some type of resource that made you wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just have an idea, get a lot of money, and become powerful, right? So this is very detrimental to our. Now, I'm not saying that Anton is a chump, right? I feel like he did hold his ground. I feel like he should have stood up, but at the same time, I think Anton lives in a world where he's very comfortable in that he's mastered that corporate thug. You know what I'm saying? He's very corporate thug. You know what I'm saying? He's very much, I'll take this punch, this ass whooping for a check. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I think Corey Holcomb is going to be like, I give out this ass whipping for a check. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the payee. I'll be the payee, but I'm gonna put these mitts on you. I'm gonna put these paws on you. Whereas though Anton, I think he's coming from a place of, I'll be the punched up one and embarrassed online, but I'm gonna get a check out of it. You see what I'm saying? That's a very different mentality. And it's weird that I will say something that Corey did that was weird, was the subliminal thing about which I don't think it was necessarily subliminal because he's saying it to his face, but we didn't know that he was talking about Anton that whole time, but Anton knew that he was talking about him, and he kind of, and I think that's what kind of ultimately led to his rage bait, because Anton, I thought, was married. So I don't know if he came out and spoke on his divorce, or if he is still a divorce, or if he was just there with some random hoe and maybe his wife didn't know. But I think ultimately that's what made him leave that show, because Corey was trying to be discreet and give this subliminal to us. Yeah, I can't even be mad at him because it wasn't a subliminal. He was in his face and saying that Anton knew he was talking about him. So he was talking to him about bringing in some weird woman and trying to give it, not weird, sorry, it don't have nothing to do with the woman, some estranged woman, and getting her on the show but without introducing her. And the only reason you would not want to introduce a woman that you with is because if it's known that I won't say only, but the major reason is that it's known that you are married and you hear it with some random woman. And that's weird. And that's basically what Corey was saying. And he didn't even put him on blast. Actually, I gotta give him his props because he didn't just blast him and say, nigga, you brought this weird woman here. He did eventually, but he didn't just come out and say it from the rip, because I think he really was trying to mend the situation and keep it going. But once that came out, I think out of embarrassment and to save face, and before any more information came out, Anton had to get up out of there, because I think he probably still married. But, I don't want to turn this into a gossip thing. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because this is starting to get catty. My main point, Corey wanted to make the point that young men can't keep on, and I see a lot of this online. This is why it's difficult for me to be consistent online, because a lot of these dudes get on here and say stuff to you that they would never say to your face. And being a man, it affects you, because you still respond how you would respond if you were in person, until you get used to being on this platform, right? If a nigga keep on talking this crazy stuff to you online, whether it's on live or in the comments are easy to kind of sidestep. But when you on live and somebody try and play in your face it's like, yo, these dudes get on these joints, especially these nerds that's on here that like to debate, and they all about debate tactics, and they just like, actually, you know, they get 20,000 followers and they become a menace. You know what I'm saying? They become a menace and they start talking to you like crazy. And it's just like, and I don't agree with doxing people, but I could see how something like that would start, because now it's like, all right, nigga, where you at? Because I'm gonna come and see you. I'm gonna make sure I see you. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a situation like a, you know what I'm saying, like a like, you know, the baby or something like that, where a nigga try to pull up on you and then you gotta, you know, punch him up, or you gotta, you know, do something worse. And it becomes a dangerous situation. But I don't even want to say it's always a dangerous situation. But when you don't have the anonymity of social media and the spatial protection that the internet provides, then you have to tread more carefully, because there's always the threat of violence. And that's my main point. This video is a little longer than I wanted it to be, so I'm gonna end it on that note. And just let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that Anton was oblivious to what Corey was trying to say when he was saying you can't say a man SD? That's crossing the line, right? And, you know, Anton like, oh, you said disrespectful stuff to me, which I don't think he did at that point. But, you know, kissing ass, I guess maybe he was taking that as to being the same thing. But if you grew up in the hood, like you know, like a lot of black men grew up in the hood that watch Corey and that Corey is and stuff like that, you know that that's crossing the line. And it's strange because somebody that didn't grow up in that environment would not have the balls to say that to a man in his face without having a stand on that. I wouldn't even expect somebody that didn't grow up in the hood to be like, yeah, nigga, you suck dick, or you out here sucking dick. Like, that's just out of pocket. That's just way out of pocket. And there's no way that you didn't know that was crossing the line. You know what I mean? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm trying to elevate this is Between Fear and Hope. Peace. Man, homie, my mind playing tricks on me. I don't even know how to. Robbing little kids for bags. My bad, yo. I'm trying to turn this joint off. I don't even know how to, though. Oh, man, don't tell me I ain't never start the live. Oh, here we go. In stream. Yeah. Robbing little kids for bags.